I'm not the kind of person who believes in the supernatural. I don't jump at shadows. I don't clutch crystals or read horoscopes. Hell, before last month, I thought all those ghost stories were just Reddit creepypasta and campfire tales. But something happened to me, something I can't explain. I'm telling you this not because I need sympathy, but because I need someone to believe me. It started with a Craigslist ad. I was 2 months behind on rent, living off gas station ramen, and one more bad week away from moving back into my parents' basement. So, when I saw a post titled $1,200 for 1 day cleaning job, no experience needed, you can bet I clicked it. The ad was weirdly short, no contact name, just an address, a date, and a single instruction. Arrive at 9 a.m. sharp. Key is under the mat. Do not enter the basement. Now, any sane person would have said, nope. That's how horror movies start. But desperate people don't think like sane people. I told myself it was probably just an old hoarder's house, or maybe someone rich who didn't want to deal with cleaners asking questions. So I packed my gloves, bleach, a box of trash bags, and hopped on the bus at 7:30 a.m. The Belmere Estate. That's what the gate said. Belmere. I didn't expect it to be that big. It wasn't just a house, it was a full on mansion, like the kind you see in black and white horror films. Ivy crawled up stone pillars. The iron gate creaked like it hadn't been touched in years. Windows were boarded up on the second floor, and the grass had grown wild, tall enough to hide someone standing in it. I almost turned around. But then I remembered $1,200 cash today. So I found the mat, lifted it, and sure enough, there was an old rusty key beneath it. No note, no instructions, no sign of the owner, just silence. When I stepped inside, the first thing I noticed was the cold. Not like no heating cold, but a deep, damp chill, like the air hadn't moved in decades, the kind that sinks into your bones. The floorboards groaned beneath my boots, and dust danced in every beam of sunlight filtering through the cracked blinds. The furniture was still there, covered in white sheets, like ghosts. I walked through the first floor, just getting a feel for the place. The kitchen was old, with copper pans hanging from hooks, and a huge stone hearth that looked more medieval than modern. There was no electricity, but the plumbing still worked. Sort of. The tap coughed up brown water and then went dry. Then I found the basement door. It was at the end of a hallway, an old oak door with a heavy iron lock bolted into it, and scratched into the wood, barely visible unless you looked closely, were 3 words. Don't go down, I laughed nervously. Creepy touch, I muttered to myself. Probably some weird joke from the previous owners. Rich people did strange things. I turned away from it and got to work. The cleaning begins. I started with the living room, took off the sheets, dusted the shelves, vacuumed. Thankfully, I brought a battery-powered one, and opened the windows to let in some fresh air. The place smelled like mildew, mothballs, and something else. Something faintly metallic, like rust or blood. I tried to ignore it. As the hours went by, things started to feel off. I'd walk into a room I knew I'd cleaned, only to find the sheet back on the furniture. Or I'd leave my phone on the counter and return minutes later to find it in another room. Once, I heard the sound of whispering, so soft I thought it was wind through the vents. Except the house had no working vents, and always, that basement door, looming, watching, waiting. Around 3 p.m., something changed. I was scrubbing a stain off the upstairs bathroom mirror when I noticed something behind me. A figure. In the reflection. I spun around. Nothing there. But when I looked back in the mirror, it was still there. A tall, thin figure standing just behind me. No face, just a black silhouette, motionless. I backed away, blinked. Gone. I dropped the rag and ran down the stairs. I nearly bolted out the front door, but my bag, with my wallet and phone, was in the kitchen. I had to get it. When I walked in, the lights were on. Let me remind you, there was no power in the house. That's when I heard it. Thump. From the basement. Thump, thump. Like footsteps. Slow, heavy, moving upward. My breath caught in my throat. I stared at the basement door. Do not enter the basement. I didn't plan to, but the lock was undone.